Southern Show.
Hi guys. Oh, what a fight that was. UFC 294. Right, today we're gonna talk about a lot of things. So let's start off with the main fight, Islam versus Volkanovski. Did I pronounce that correct? Anyway, what did you
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski, what did you
Sorry.
think?
Yeah. What did I think?
Yeah,
Um,
fighting in general. We'll break it down in a sec, but the fight in general. No
I
excuses,
mean,
innit?
it's a 3 minute fight. We didn't see much, but I think um, okay. First and foremost, and this is us speaking to our viewers, right? We just want to make a uh, we just want to say that we are not, even though we appreciated the performance of Islam and him knocking out Volk and whatnot, we completely respect Volk. He's a fighter's fighter. He came up. He took the risk. We respect Charles Oliveira as well. But that head kick was just so satisfying to all the haters and all the doubters and all the trolls online that have been ripping Islam since February. That, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
know.
it was so satisfying. It was just so satisfying for them. I didn't, obviously, not to see Volk, you know, get absolutely starched, but
Mm.
just to all the haters. Like, I think after this, you know, this is like already the division. Islam was the boogeyman of the division before clinching the title, but now everyone's scratching their head thinking this guy can strike as well. And in his last three fights, including yesterday's one, what's interesting is Islam has showed all three aspects. He showed us three different fights.
Mm.
He showed us that um, he can do judo, because in the Oliveira fight, Oliveira, he submitted the guy with the most submissions in UFC history. Charles Oliveira is a exceptional BJJ artist, and he submitted that guy. The fight after that in February, he went 4-5 rounds, 4-5 rounds, war with Volkanovski. So he showed heart, which was more of an MMA fight.
Yeah.
And this fight, he showed us that he can also finish you via strike. So in the Oliveira fight, he submitted. Last fight, he won by decision, and this fight, he knocked Volk out. And how can you deny him any further? This is the pound for pound best in the world right now.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100%
I
agree.
mean,
There's nothing about it. Like, people are talking about he's going to be fighting probably Gaethje next, or maybe they'll fight, what's his name, Oliver. Oliver is going to try and,
Oliveira.
yeah, Oliver probably going to try and try see if he can get that fight in Brazil. If not, it won't happen in Brazil, I reckon. If it happens, it's going to be in America. Okay? It is what
No
it is.
man's land. Yeah.
No man's
Yeah.
land. I mean, if it was in Brazil, then it probably will be in Brazil, but he'll probably freaking murder him in Brazil. It makes no difference. After that performance yesterday, how would you said he said in the pre-conference, in the interviews on all that type of stuff, that he will try and finish him. It's either going to be the first round or any of the rounds he will finish him. I guarantee you that I will finish him, and he did. And when he came in, he changed his game. We thought I be brutally honest with you, yeah. I was thinking to myself, because I've been doing martial arts all my life and all that type of stuff, and I'm not saying that I've got the key eye for martial arts and I can tell anything like, but I have some tiny bit of knowledge, and I was thinking to myself, how is he going to beat this guy? Like, other
What you
than,
mean by finish? If he was to finish him?
yeah, if you were to finish him, I was
Yeah.
like, I know, yeah, you got the knockout and you got the submission, but I was like, how is he going to knock him out? Like, what's he going to do? Is he gonna wait for him to try and take him down and then fake a punch like Khabib did to Conor McGregor? Conor thought he was going to go for a takedown, and then he threw a punch, Or is he going to do, or is he somehow, when it comes to the grappling exchange, somehow grab his back and then go for a choke or an armbar or a Kimura or something? I was thinking, I was just going through it in my mind. I was like, because, you know, we respect Volk so much, and we know that this guy's good. So I was thinking, when it comes to trying to take him down, single leg or double leg, whatever it may be, Volk's, you know, been practicing that, so he'll somewhat stop that from happening, and which he did. If you see the first few minutes of the fight, Islam went for a takedown and stopped it.
I wanted to touch up about that, but yeah, carry
Yeah,
on.
and
Yeah.
then I was thinking to myself, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to do it. And I know I can just say, yeah, he's going to throw a punch when he's not paying attention. But that's any casual could say stuff like that. But I literally, personally, I didn't know how he's going to knock him out. I did not see that leg combination of him throwing it low, low, low. Then suddenly, when he fails to throw it low, he goes high, and then he goes bang. I mean, to be honest, Volk had his hands up, so it was like it's not like Volk didn't know what's going to happen. His hands up, he just grazed his glove and went right to his temple. Boom. And then
No, so Volk, his guard was here,
mm.
and the kick landed above his glove, so it hit the dome like of the temple. Yeah. So Volk didn't do nothing wrong here.
No, exactly.
He put his
he was right.
Yeah. But his accuracy was on point.
Thing is, though, DJ said this. You know, I can't pronounce it.
Mrs. Johnson, yeah.
Mr. Johnson, he said this. When you fight tall guys, there's one thing that you need to always look out for, and that is if the tall guy's got long legs, or if he's tall, basically, the head kick, it always happens to me. It happened to DC when DC fought Jones. Guess what happened? Same head kick.
Why are you going so far back? Just this year, it happened twice.
Oh yeah, Leon Edwards. Like Leon's taller than, I know they say like Leon's like an inch taller than us. No, is he hell? Usman is
he's about two. He's 2 inches taller.
I say 3'4". I say 3-4 inches taller, to be honest. Oh, actually, I won't say 4 inches. I'll say 3 inches. Usman is like 5'10", 5'11". I've seen Usman and what's his name? Makhachev.
Kamaru.
Yeah, next to Kamaru's Usman.
They're about the same, yeah.
They're the same height, man. Usman's 5'10", 5'11". Even what's his name? Josh Thompson on his podcast said so. Like Usman's like that tall. He's same height as him, and Josh is 5'10" as well. So they build him up at 6 foot, right? And Leon is definitely 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
Yeah.
He had longer legs, and plus Leon had longer legs, and that's why Leon clipped him as well.
And what about what Gaethje done to Poirier just a couple months ago?
Yeah, Gaethje's definitely taller than Thingy. What's his name? Thingy's about Poirier's like 5'8", 5'9". Gaethje's definitely 5'11". He's obviously taller and he's got longer legs, not just longer arms, longer legs, and he clipped him as well. So it does.
It's the trend of headshot dead.
Yeah, headshot.
It's the headshot dead trend going on right now.
I mean, I saw the Joe Rogan podcast when they were watching the fight. Him, Schaub, Eddie Bravo, and Brian Callen. Right? Even Rogan said, like, you know, people think. Bravo said it's like it's all movies. No, it can happen, but you need to be freaking good to accomplish that. To execute that head kick, you need to be really good. And guess what? Those guys are good, and Islam freaking did it, right? And especially when someone is small as, when I say small as in height, when someone is short as Volk,
it's there for the taking.
Yeah.
And bear in mind as well, the height obviously has a substantial factor into it as well, but also they have opposite stances. So Islam is a southpaw, and Volks are orthodox. So that leaves an opening for that
exactly.
head kick, for the back leg, the back leg. Yeah. If they were both orthodox or both southpaw, then you might have to hit him with your front leg, like how Leon did to Kamaru. I think. Or did Leon do it with the opposite stance? Because Leon's he's a tricky fighter. He can fight from both stances. Either way, it'd be different. But yeah, either way, you'd have to do it with the other leg if you have the same stance. But because Islam's got the opposite stance, it's open. And the body kicks are open as well. The body kicks are also open.
Exactly. As an orthodox fighter, it's very tricky when you fight. Normally, orthodox fighters do somewhat good. I mean, in boxing, they do all right against southpaw fighters, but anyway, that could be debatable. In my opinion, from what I've seen and from what I've experienced, orthodox fighters do really well against southpaw, in my opinion. But in MMA, like I said, like you said,
They
That
struggle, yeah.
opening's there, and the guy
Mm.
had even though the guy had his arm there, hey, he's
I
trying
mean,
to spot the
P-
high
P- P- Poirier had his hand there, but when you watch the replay, they slowed it down. You know what happened? Gaethje's foot hit him at the back of
yeah,
the
around
head.
here.
It wrapped around the back, and really and truly, that should be a DQ. But because it was unintentional, because
Mm.
no, because you can't hit at the back of the head.
I don't know that would no. I mean,
No, it wouldn't go down as that because
I
he's
won't.
throwing it to the side, but where Poirier done that a bit, it wrapped around the back of the head. Do you understand? But if it hit on the side of the head, Poirier's hand was already there. He might have survived it. Do you understand?
Mm.
But Islam, on the other hand, he clipped the dome of the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught him clean, like,
Yeah.
and that's it.
People,
What do you think, anyways?
as Volk was landing and then Islam came to finish it off. I mean, the referee should have jumped in right there and then, but Islam obviously he didn't, so Islam had to continue. And as he was hitting him, people saying, "Oh, he's hitting him in the back of the head. He's hitting him in the back of the head." Well, I replayed, watched it, slowed it down. He hit him one
It was on the
around
top.
here. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
this bit. It was literally this bit.
that's legal. Yeah, you can do that.
That's
Yeah, you
legal.
can do
Don't
that.
get me wrong though. I did see when I slowed it down, there was one hit
One. There was one that hit the back. Yeah,
as he
yeah,
was moving down, one landed in the
yeah.
back, but the majority of them was on the forehead, not the
Forehead and
top part,
the skull. Yeah,
say the crown part of the head, and one or two on the neck,
yeah,
shoulder area. So
yeah. Well, you know what it is. You know what it is, Uncle
it's
Ron.
gonna
In
hate.
that situation, no, you know what it is. In that situation, you've got the adrenaline dump now, innit? And
Yeah.
you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I got him. So
You're not
you
paying
just
attention.
quickly, yeah, you're just quickly going for it. And
Yeah.
like, look at those punches. They were sloppy, anyways, from
Yeah.
Islam. There wasn't
Trying
like,
to finish him. He's trying to finish him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but to be fair, like, like, let's just say that was it's a bad example, but if that was a boxing ring,
Yeah.
Volk wouldn't have made the 10 count because his eyes rolled back. He was out.
Yeah.
He
He's
was
out.
out. But if Islam said, if Islam done what Gaethje done to Oliveira, dropped him and let him back up, there's a chance Volk could have recovered. So it was better to
Yeah.
put the nail in the coffin. Like, do you know what I mean?
Did what he had to do. He need to finish him. He said he's going to finish him. That's how he finished him.
What did you think, anyways, the entire 3 minutes that was going? What did you think of
Yeah.
everything, the takeaway?
Like as you know where I was last night, last
Yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah.
Nephew and A&E and all that type of stuff. And I was just like, I was, I was holding my nephew one hand and I had my phone in this hand. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And yeah, I mean, soon as the whistle went, and soon as I saw both of them come into the ring, one, we'll talk about this in a sec, but when we saw the hydrated version of Islam, I was like, yeah, this guy, yeah.
He's in good shape.
Normally,
Yeah.
I have butterflies when I see my favorite fighters or fighters with a plural S fight because I do want maybe I want both of them to win. That's stupid if you know what I mean. But one of them's going to win. But in this sense, I kind of wanted Islam to win because I wanted the haters to shut the f up. You know what I mean? All the hate they gave this guy. I don't know why they hate him. He's a nice
The
guy.
trolls, yeah.
Inbred and all that stuff. I mean, bro, you won't even say that to his face. And how do you know it's inbred? They just say it because a guy has a certain face like this. So what? There's loads of people inbred. I'm sure the guys
I don't know.
you probably look like inbreds.
You know, like leading up to the fight,
Yeah.
all the trolls that were like basically roasting Islam since February.
Yeah.
I don't know if majority of them were Volk fans or Islam haters.
Probably Conor McGregor fans.
At this point, it seems like most of them. That, like, don't get me wrong, Volk has formed into a star since the Max trilogy.
Yeah.
But having said that, I just feel like there's more Volk on his side on his side of fans. There's more anti-Islam fans than there are pro-Volk fans. Like,
They just don't like.
listen, if there was pro-Volk fans,
That's it.
yeah, if there was pro-Volk fans, they wouldn't be respected. They wouldn't be disrespectful. They'll be like, yeah, we just, like, may the best man win, but we want, cheer Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Like, they'd be going on that tangent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just, like, all of these comments they make online, and it was sad. Like, there was a post-fight press conference where Volk was crying. When the fighters go back to give the interview, and Volk was crying. So. Obviously,
bro. Who wouldn't cry?
Yeah. Like, no, I felt bad for
Lost.
him, but it's just like, it's just we don't want to see guys. Even Charles, I have immense respect for him. Same goes for Volk. They're nice guys, you know,
All of
family
them,
men.
all of them nice
Yeah,
guys. All of
but
them nice.
everyone in the lightweight division, they're all cool guys, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and Volk, he's got courage. I felt bad for him, but it's just like it was just satisfying to see Islam get that KO, not because Volk was on the other end. It's because of all the haters that have been roasting him last few months. I think that picture like this is one of the coldest photos of the year.
Oh yeah, when he walked around going,
Yeah, but no, but UFC posted just Islam like this. Like they took a as he's walking, they took a photo and they posted it on UFC.
yeah,
That is gonna go on a lot of wallpapers. A
yeah,
lot of journalists on their
yeah,
podcasts are gonna put that picture up.
yeah,
It was such a cold photo, and Islam right now. So I'm gonna talk about the negatives as well, right? But after that performance, he's on a 13 win fight streak. He's
yeah,
tied with his mentor, Habib,
yeah,
and he's on a 13 win fight streak. His 13 win fight streak is now being compared to Habib's. For me, Islam's one is has mm, it's a mixture of many things like knockouts, submissions, more finishes, uh, more more of a stacked division. I think Islam's era is more stacked than Habib's, and
mm.
it's just more exciting, you know. And
Yeah,
Islam is now pound for pound. I
mm.
think, in my opinion, he's definitely pound for pound. He's sealed the deal right now. Like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, John Jones might be the GOAT, but the thing is, what's pound for pound? Pound for pound right now is the current rankings, right?
yeah.
Jones only fought once in 3 years. He's come off the couch once in 3 years.
And that was actually Islam's thing when he said that. You know, when they was getting
Yeah,
they kept on talking about pound for pound rankings and stuff like that, and then Islam gave his 2 cents on it. He goes, I don't know why this guy became number one pound for pound champion when who the hell did he fight? He just literally came off the couch after a few years and went
three
into
years. Yeah,
fought against a guy who's never won the title and nothing like that. Now he becomes like pound for pound
yes,
champion,
yes,
UFC
that
champion.
as well. Yeah, that as well. Like, it's
Yeah,
more credible for Islam to defeat Volk, that two twice, and this one a knockout, than Jones
yeah,
beating Cyril Gahn, and you have to look at the activity rate as well. Islam's defended his belt twice this year.
yeah.
He clinched the title last year. I think last year he fought like 5 times or 4 times. You know,
No, I think who
was
Islam.
it three Islam? Mm. Or
What?
3 times at least minimum.
Twice?
Last year in 2022.
No, I'm sure he fought last. I'm sure he only fought uh twice.
Was it twice? Well,
Yeah,
regardless, okay, even if it was twice, yeah,
yeah,
Islam's fought more times than John Jones has in the last 3 years.
yeah. That's true. That's definitely
So, and look, that we're not saying Islam's the greatest of all time. You know, currently, it's, where it stands, it's fair to say it's John Jones, but we're talking about specifically the pound for pound rankings in this current time, in this current moment of time,
yeah.
right? Um, so if we want to talk little bit about Volk now,
Okay,
yes, Volk took this
okay,
fight on.
okay.
Yeah,
Before we talk about Volk, is there anything else that you want to talk about Islam?
yeah. There's still a few things I want to speak about. Did you put?
Still,
Is the video on?
yeah, still recording.
Hello.
Still
Yeah.
recording.
So as for Islam, I think he's got. So what I saw, and these are the negatives. Like, no one is a 10 out of 10 fighter. There's always flaws, right? Now, Islam's thing was in the first fight. He was saying where he wasn't rehydrated. So Islam came in 8 pounds heavier in this fight. Did you know that?
No,
Yeah. So you know the rehydration, when you rehydrate, your weight goes up, right?
yeah,
So he was 8 pounds heavier in this fight than he was in February.
okay,
So that So that goes to, which is 3.5 kilos extra. So that speaks volumes, right? That he wasn't like he really didn't have enough time to rehydrate in the February
Yeah,
fight. He was 8 pounds lighter in that fight, according to his normal, like what he usually is, right?
yeah,
So the only thing, the negative side I see, which is concerning, because Islam is now talking about going up for the 170 title, is once again Volk stuffed his takedown once again.
yeah,
And Islam is completely rehydrated. Now, my concern is if you're gonna go up to another division, and it's not 10 pounds heavier, it's 15 pounds heavier, which
yeah,
is about 6.5 kilos, right?
yeah.
That is a fair bit. How are you, if you're struggling to take Volk down once again, how are you going to deal with guys that are double Volk size?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Um,
Because that's my question to you as well. Because that, for
I,
me, that's
yeah.
concerning. That, yeah,
How I answer that is that it's not that the matter of him not being able to take people down because he kind of found it hard to do it with Volk. The reason that he found it hard to do it with Volk is that Volk is short. I
yeah,
BJJ, and I've noticed that when I grapple against shorter guys, it's from the stand-up position, not when we go, all right, it's rolling time, we start from the floor. We do it from the stand-up position. It's freaking hard because the taller guy, the shorter guy is very. I mean, in judo, right? When I did judo, it's all. I mean, the bigger guy. Well, if he's the same weight category as you, my money's on the short guy. If he's got very good technique, my money's on the short guy. But if the guy's tall but big, but you're short but not so big, then obviously the bigger guy is going to win because he's big in weight as well. But because it's MMA and Islam probably doesn't grapple with shorter guys that much, he's looking at average height guys like 5'8" to 5'11".
yeah. 5'6" is
5'6" is
really rough.
shorter.
I mean, where are you gonna find a 5'6" guy that weighs as much as Volk and as strong as him?
Yeah,
It's not as
exactly. I
common,
mean,
right?
you got Usman. Sorry, Umar no Magomedov. He's like 5'7", so he's an inch tall
Yeah.
or so, or 5'8". I can't remember.
And
But
he's
there is
nowhere
one
near as big
guy.
as strong. He's
Yeah,
nowhere near as big and strong as Volk as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, this just to finish off what I was going to say. That's the reason why I think he found it hard. But I reckon when he fights against people his own height in the welterweight division or even in the lightweight division, yeah, he won't find any problems.
So so you don't think anyone in the 170 division, because of their sheer size, power, and strength, could make it a bit difficult and challenging for Islam in the when it comes down to situations where you have to manhandle your opponents, ragdoll them, and things of that nature?
The only thing that I worry about for the welterweight division is someone with good cardio. That's it. So he can keep on going and
Yeah.
going. Like Colby Covington, right? Even though they said that he wants him if he ever wins the title and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm not worried about Colby Covington's jiu-jitsu, the grappling. I'm not worried
No,
about
no.
Covington striking. I'm not worried about any of that. The one thing I'm worried about is his cardio because he's got fantastic cardio.
Cardio.
So
He's
and
got three
Islam
lungs.
probably knows
That
that. So
guy's got
Islam,
three.
yeah. All Islam needs to do is get him to the ground if he can out grapple him and then choke him out, or he needs to knock him out. That's the only thing he has to do. But if he can't do any of that,
Okay.
then when it comes to the
Yeah.
late rounds, it's going to be super hard.
I mean, if I was Islam in that fight, I would point fight Colby because Islam striking is definitely better than Colby's,
Oh, 100%.
and it's but Colby's got a diamond chin, so it's hard to knock him out. So it's better to point fight him, play it safe.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, obviously,
Maybe get a few ground and pound
that's
here
the
and
thing
there.
about the casuals, right? That's the thing about the casuals. They themselves have built Islam as this undefeated like monster of the lightweight division, and then somehow Volk did this to him, and they're like, "Oh, he's human. He's human. Oh my god, he's actually shit. You know what? Volk's going to beat him again." That's the mentality these casuals have. So when he eventually goes to the
Yeah,
welterweight division, right, and then he wins by points. Oh, Islam couldn't do it because they expect Islam to run through everybody, and that's a
Yeah.
double-edged sword in the sense because as we being fans of Islam, we're like, oh yeah, that's great. And if he doesn't do it, we'll still be happy because he took the win. But they'd be like, huh? He didn't
I
go. That means Colby's better than him. Oh, they should have a rematch. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
I think also you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. And I think also like where his Habib's protege and Habib's never really most of his fights, you know, except for that Quinta fight, which was short notice for both men and Quinta's short and whatever not,
yeah,
his fights seemed fairly dominant and easy. So they compare the two. And then even Gaethje, up till last night, he was
yeah.
saying, I'll fight Islam. He's definitely not Habib.
Yeah.
And after what happened, he goes, yeah,
I've got a mountain to
I
climb.
think he might be just as good, but I need to test
Hey,
myself and
that's what
find out.
happens. That's what happens, right? We all know that even Islam said that he was dehydrated. He didn't have enough time to recuperate and all that type of stuff in Australia. All right, it's good for you, Volk, because it's your town and you don't have to recuperate. But guess what? There are many fighters out there who need that extra time to recuperate.
Because he's the bigger guy. But
Bro, I don't care
okay,
if you're a weight bully. It's a sanctioned thing. Everybody's a weight bully in every single freaking division. You know, there's only you
everyone is, yeah.
find one or two people who are actually fighting in the weight, like Izzy and so and so. Everyone else is
Uh,
down below.
Pereira, Alex Pereira is the biggest weight bully. He weighs in 230, 235 out of camp. He was cut into middleweight. But because Alex Pereira is such a fan favorite, no one
Yeah.
talks about
No, no
how
one's
he's a
talking
weight
about
bully.
that. Exactly. That's what I'm
I,
saying.
but I'm a fan of Pereira. I'm a fan of
Me too,
Pereira.
me too, me
But
too.
I was never going on that tangent where he's a weight
It
bully.
happens in
Now I'm
every
happy to see
sport.
him at like, huh?
It happens in every sport. It happens in wrestling, you know, like amateur wrestling, in the Olympics or what do you call the American one? The NCCA. I can't remember
Yeah,
what.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It happens in judo. It happens in everything. It happens in jiu-jitsu all the time. People,
Yeah.
oh, if I weigh in, and the next day I'll definitely fight because I'll have that extra 10 pounds, so I'll be a bit heavier and then fight them. But the guy that you're fighting is going to do the same as well. So anyway, let's finish off the Islam and
I'd
Volk
like to, yeah,
performance.
I'd like to add one more thing to this.
Yeah,
This is one of the major, like more important factors that I'd like to cover. Now, there was already inbuilt excuses from the anti-Islam fans that Volk's taken this fight on 10-day notice, which is absolutely warranted. Even the haters, they have a valid point to say that. But that depends on how the fight went. Now, if that fight went 4 rounds and Volk fatigued and he was losing that, Islam was losing like
yes,
2 rounds, 3 rounds,
yeah,
and then Volk fatigued and Islam then like capitalized on that in that moment
yeah,
because Volk gassed out with that as for the fact that he didn't have a training camp and then Islam goes to finish him.
yeah.
Fair enough, warranted. You know, Islam was losing the fight and he only took over when the guy fatigued. But in this fight, you can't say that because um, Volk, that fight ended in 3 minutes. And this is why I respect Volk so much, where Volk came out in the post fight press conference and
Yeah.
he did say, yeah, you know, it was high risk, high reward. You know, thinking about it, when you're fighting a guy like Islam, I wouldn't recommend anyone to take it on 10-day notice.
Yeah.
But in the same line, straight after, he did say, but even what you know, these aren't excuses because what if I did take a 12-week training camp and I was prepped and then I get caught with the same head kick? I'd still get finished.
Yes, exactly. And it happened in
And
the first 3 minutes of the first round, so that's nothing. Listen,
yeah,
same
yeah,
people who are moaning and using it as an excuse are the same people who are happy when Chad Mendes fought Conor McGregor in what, not 10, 11 days, in few days' notice, what, 5 days' notice was it? And then
yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
Chad Mendes gassed out in the last round, you literally saw him, he went to the third round and he
Because
gassed
he was
out.
winning the fight. He
And
was
he was
winning the
winning the
fight.
fight as well. And Conor McGregor
Yeah,
was getting taken down and beating the crap out of. No
yeah.
one said anything then.
No, no,
Oh,
no. And
Islam gets it. I
Brent,
wonder.
Brent and Brendan Schaub, which is like the biggest Islam hater, right?
Yeah.
He said the same too. He was like, you know, no, not like, well, it doesn't really matter. You know, what you can say what you want, but end of the day, if Volk had a full training camp, he got caught with a head kick, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have made a difference. And Brendan Schaub is the biggest Habib and Islam hater, and even he's saying it. he's speaking from a logical standpoint of view. You know what I mean? So yeah, so doubt, no one can doubt. This is a legit win, a genuine win.
Yeah. Okay, nephew.
Yeah.